Hey, it's Foreclosure Girl Boss, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. So, today I wanted to talk to you about finding the right real estate agent to help you with these properties. Finding the right real estate agent to help you with these properties. As a foreclosure listing agent, I see, unfortunately, too many times to count where agents that aren't used to selling foreclosure properties lose the deal for their clients. Let me repeat. I have seen selling agents lose the deal for their clients. And I'll go into some of that a little later. But what I want to share with you is that when you're an investor and you're looking to buy REO properties, you want a real estate agent that is well versed in this space. You want a real estate agent that has sold foreclosure properties before because they understand how they're not sold like regular traditional resale properties. And if for some reason you can't find an agent in your area that's well versed in selling foreclosures, then at least pick an agent that's willing to learn. And it sounds so simple, right? It sounds like that's just basic knowledge. But like I said, too many times to count. Too many times to count have I had real estate agents submit offers on one of my REO listings, and it's an agent that doesn't sell foreclosure properties. And when I say they don't follow the instructions, they're not communicating with their client. And instead of them going to their client to see what the client wants to do, they want to make the decisions. So that's why I say find an agent that is well versed in selling foreclosure properties, because that agent is going to know that the property is sold as is. So they know how to act and move accordingly. That agent is going to know what that contract says because they're going to read it. They're going to read the contract. They're going to know about your inspection periods. They're going to know what you can and cannot do. They're going to be able to hold your hand and lead you through that process. If you get an agent who has never sold an REO property before and they're not even willing to even learn and ask the right questions, those agents are dangerous in an REO transaction. They are dangerous. And, well, first of all, I want to get this out of the way. I'm not bashing any real estate agents, okay? That's not what I do. I'm not bashing any real estate agent. I'm going to tell you something. An agent that doesn't sell REO properties and that's not well versed in selling REO properties doesn't mean they're a bad agent. It doesn't mean they're a bad agent. This is a niche market. So just because they don't know how to sell REO properties doesn't make them a bad agent, no more than going to a foot doctor about your ears makes them a bad foot doctor, right? So this is a niche market. It's a niche market. So what I'm saying is that if you have someone who is not well versed in this niche market, then and a person who is not willing to learn and a person who's not willing to ask the right questions for you, that particular agent can cost you time and money. And I have seen it. They can cost you time and money because you got to have time to look at the property. You're going to be putting in your offer. You're going to be doing inspections and then getting you from, the accepted offer to closing. And if they don't know how to do that and they don't know the right questions to ask, you can lose your earnest money deposit. You can lose the money that you spent on doing inspections. And again, it's just not a good look, if you're just wanting to use an agent who does not know anything about how to sell these particular properties. So you want to find an agent that knows how to sell these properties, that knows the right questions to ask, that is okay with reaching out to the listing agent, because some agents, for whatever reason, doesn't want to call the listing agent. Sometimes they just rather figure it out themselves. They don't want to call the listing agent to say they have questions. And the one time that they do want to call the listing agent is when something got screwed up. Now you're in default of the contract, and I have to send out an email that says the bank is going to keep your earnest money deposit. Oh, that's when they want to make a phone call. That's when they want to make a phone call. So you want an agent who is going to be able to pick up the phone, talk to the listing agent. What do you know about this property? What can you tell me? How do I need to put my offer in? How does the process work with this particular bank or this particular seller if my offer gets accepted? How does this work? How does that work? That's the agent you want. That's the agent you want. You don't want an agent who's a know-it-all and figure, okay, well, maybe I've never sold an REO property before, but it can't be that hard at selling homes. So, surely I can do this. But again, it's a whole different world. It's a whole different world. And if you're an investor and you bought foreclosure properties before, you know what I'm talking about. If you're a real estate agent watching this, you know what I'm talking about. So again, as an investor, make sure that your agent knows about these properties, or at least willing to learn, willing to ask questions. And also make sure that they understand that you really want the communication and you really want the opportunity to make your own decisions. Again, I know this seems crazy because that should be a given. As real estate agents, we're not supposed to speak for our clients. We're not supposed to speak for our clients. We're supposed to deliver the message, communicate with you, and then talk to you about the pros and cons, and kind of counsel you as to how to make a decision, how to decide, and not make the decision for you. But you have agents that make decisions for clients all the time. And in this REO space, you don't want that. So, quick story. I had a real estate agent, so I had an REO property on the market, and when the time frame was up, because it was a bidding period, and when the bidding period was up, his client won the bid. So as a listing agent, I reached out to him, let him know, like, hey, your client won the bid on this property, and you're not having an accepted offer. I ran down everything to him, the next steps, and I also have what's called a next step email that I send out so that he understood what the next steps were. And in this particular case, for this particular seller, the next step was to get the earnest money deposit in within 2 business days. So I communicated that with him, not to mention he got emails that said pretty much the same thing. And I always follow up with my selling agents of my REO properties. If you're an agent watching this and you ever sold any of my REO properties, you know what I'm talking about. I am a very, very hands-on listing agent, and I like to make sure that the selling agent knows what they're doing. And sometimes I understand that they really don't know what questions to ask, so I do try to help out. But of course, I don't know everything that they've talked to their client about. I don't know everything that they've discussed. I don't know everything that they've done. So sometimes even with my properties, there are some things that the agent has done to default on the property where the seller is keeping their buyer's EMD. But anyway, I digress. So this particular agent, they won the bid. I reach out to him, say, hey, make sure you get your EMD in within the 2 business. And he says, yeah, I know, I'll get it in. Like, okay. So the day before, I reach out to him as a reminder. The day of, I reach out to him again. He said, yeah, I know. I just been so busy. I haven't had a chance to go pick it up for my client. The client got the EMD, but I just haven't had a chance to go pick it up. And then he proceeds to tell me that he sells REO properties. He knows how this works, and that my seller should be so appreciative that his buyer even submitted an offer on the property because the property needed so much work. So that the seller should just be so happy that they submitted an offer that they should just wait, pretty much. But he said he was getting in that day. So I said, okay. So fast forward to the day after it's due in. The day after it's due in, my seller sends him a cancellation notice that they have canceled the offer. And what he doesn't know is they also sent me an email that they canceled his offer, and they also accepted another offer. So now I have to reach out to that other selling agent to let them know that now their client has won the bid, and tell them the process and get that ball rolling all over again. So of course he calls me, telling me, hey, I got an email saying that, they canceled our contract. I said, yeah, I told you. I told you that they would cancel it. Well, I have it now. I'm going to go turn it. No. It's nothing you could do. The seller has already accepted another offer. I've already reached out to the other selling agent to let them know that their buyer has now won the offer, has won the bid. And now they're already in the midst of getting their EMD over to me. In which the agent told me that I would have the EMD within 24 hours instead of 48 business hours. So, in that case, I was dealing with an agent who, not only, I can't even say that they didn't know the process, because this agent told me that they sold REO properties all the time. They knew the process. They were just a little cocky and arrogant. They were just a little cocky and arrogant. And again, pushing their own agenda, I guess, is maybe the best way to put that, because in their mind, my seller wasn't going to cancel their client's offer. They felt like, hey, we should just be so happy that someone even put in an offer. So now, we know that not only did your client put in the offer, but somebody else did too. And now they got it. Now they're going to move forward with the property. And that client did purchase the property. So what do you want to bet? What do you want to bet that agent's client had no idea what was going on? I can bet you that client did not know what's going on. I can just imagine what that agent told the client. I can just imagine what the agent told the client. So, again, guys, just make sure that you're using a real estate agent that is going to look out for your best interest in buying these properties. Your real estate agent should be looking out for your best interest anyway, but especially when buying these REO properties, you really need an agent who is going to look out for your best interest. Ask the questions. If they don't know what's going on, they don't know how to do something, that they'll ask questions and they'll keep you in the loop. And when things are due that are time sensitive, that they'll get those items in and that they'll communicate that with you. That is super, super, super important. And that story that I just told you, that investor just lost that property. That investor just lost that property. And I don't know what their spread would have been on that property and how much money that they could have made. But that agent just lost that money for that client. Just lost that money for that client. So don't let that be you, guys. Make sure that you're using an agent that is going to look out for your best interest when buying these type of properties. Make sure they're going to ask the questions. Make sure they're communicating with you. Make sure they're, explaining to you what the contract says, and make sure that they are telling you what you can and cannot do, and helping you to ultimately make that decision on that property, whether to even put in an offer on the property and whether you're going to move forward with closing on that property. So hopefully that helps, guys. Your agent is super, super important. Like I said, this was not to throw agents under the bus. That is not what I do. That is not what I do. Even in this story that I told you, not throwing that agent under the bus. I wanted to share that story with you because I want you to know how super, super important it is to choose the right real estate agent to work with you when doing these REO properties. It's super, super, super important. And again, doesn't make them a bad agent if they don't know how to. Doesn't make them a bad agent. But just make sure that you choose the right agent, because that's how you level up and buy these foreclosures like a boss. Link is in my bio. Make sure you get my eguide. Again, guys, it's going to break down a lot of things that you need to know when buying these REO properties, because there are so many things you need to know to lose your money. All right. So get the e-guide. Make sure that you guys get that. And then continue to follow, like, and share my YouTube channel. It helps me to grow. So I want to pop in here ever so often, share little tidbits with you guys on buying these foreclosures and help you make some money. It's 2025. I know you guys have goals to make more money this year than you made last year, to maybe buy your first REO property this year, or maybe you're an investor, you've been buying REO properties, but you realize that there has to be a better way. But whatever your goals are of this year with REO properties and buying REO properties, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. All right? So, all right, guys. Toodles.